Welcome back to Varsity Club 602, covering the way less than 42 bowl games for the 2021 college football season. COVID has ravaged the landscape. However, the Orange Bowl, one of the semifinals this year, is still in play. I have Josh with me here to cover the semifinals, along with maybe a couple other bowl games. And Josh, we've got Georgia and Michigan. Georgia coming in as a 7.5-point favorite. Totals at 45.
That actually seems low. I was expecting that one to be a little bit higher.
You know, a lot of the bowls with the Big Ten teams in them came in really low, like Big Ten totals should be, forgetting that they're playing teams that can actually score points. 45 feels really, really low to me as well.
I mean, that's an easy over, but Georgia, Michigan. How's Michigan done this year?
You know, Michigan wins the Big Ten.
Obviously,
12
decent, right?
Overall. Yeah. They dropped a game to Michigan State, and they beat everybody else. Culminating in that game against Ohio State, where they whooped their ass 42-27, turned around, beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship game 42-3.
Ooh, oh baby. Okay.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball, Georgia, obviously a pretty good season for them, right up until the bitter end. Really ran the table 12-0, and then ran into an Alabama team recently motivated to win some games. Georgia put up points this year, Josh. They hung at least 30 points, I believe, on every SEC opponent until the championship game.
Wow. This should actually be. The problem is, like, I expect this to be a really good game, but at the same time, I guess they could be very right in that call. It could be a heavily defensive game.
Yeah, this is the 6:30 Central Time start for the Orange Bowl. So this will be the game on, I believe, after the Alabama-Cincinnati game. Okay. So we should be able to wash the Group of Five filth from our mouths with a little classic SEC Big Ten showdown here. This game's either going to be high scoring or 17-6.
Yeah, I know absolutely nothing about which way to call it. So for that reason, because I love to see high scoring football, I'm going to take the over.
I will also take the over 45. It feels like a fun way to look at it. I'm trying to get a feel for what Michigan is capable of doing non-conference wise, but they played Western Michigan, Washington, and NIU. So really not a good comparison for Georgia, believe it or not.
Yeah. As much as I love rooting against anybody, for the most part in the SEC, outside of, of course, one or two teams, pig. I think it's even more fun to root against Michigan for no other reason than it's just fun to root against Michigan. So I'm going to take Georgia, and I'm taking the over.
I'm going to come back the other way on this one. I'm going to take the 7.5 points with Michigan. And I can tell you, Josh, I'm looking at some money lines right now, and I might bet Michigan outright just for funsies. But I'm with you on the over. I think the over is definitely going to come in here. I mean, these kids are going to be motivated because there is a commemorative football being given out. I'm assuming it's winners and losers.
Sure.
But do you want to be the loser with a commemorative football?
No, you don't want that consolation commemorative football. You want the I went into the bowl game and won commemorative football. You want that memory to mean something. So yeah, no, on top of that, whichever one wins, they're either going to go to take on now very motivated Alabama, or they're going to have to do the honor of destroying Cincinnati in the finals game.
That's the thing. I feel like if Cincinnati finds a way through Alabama, they will struggle mightily with the more physical play of either one of these teams. Alabama, for the first time in a decade, is one of the least physical teams in the playoff, if that's a fair way to even
Like
categorize them.
I can imagine them, especially with several weeks of practice, having a real good prep time to get ready for Bama football. But then to have to prep for whichever other team is coming up next in whatever little time frame they've got, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I think the one thing that might work to their advantage is that Michigan and Georgia are similar in strength, so the preparation would be comparable for both. But I don't.
Yeah.
I also think whoever wins this game might have a shot at Alabama. Now they whooped Georgia pretty badly very recently.
Mhm.
I'll borrow a page from the NFL. How the in conference in division opponents at the end of the year usually don't get the full playbook because they might see them again in the playoffs. Maybe that comes into play. I don't think they're sophisticated enough at the college level to pull something like that off.
Mhm.
Bama's a scary team.
That's just it. They're going to need everything anyway, so I don't think they're going to have the enough of a playbook to be able to hold some stuff back. You're going to have to end up using it all in both teams. So,
All right. So for the Orange Bowl, we both have the over 45. Josh's going to lay the points with Georgia. I'm going to take the points with Michigan. We'll be back in some way, shape, or form. Might do a 6:02 round table once the championship game is set, and we'll get whoever wins Cincinnati, Bama, and Georgia, Michigan. We'll do some sort of breakdown for them. But hey, thanks for dialing in. Thanks for listening to Varsity Club 6:02 and our bowl previews. We'll see you guys real soon.